Let's turn over to TRT World. Sara Firth, who joins me now from Kramatorsk in Ukraine. Sara, good to see you. You know, when the Ukrainian president, Vladimir Zelensky, was speaking to members of the foreign press more than a week ago, he actually urged the United States not to stoke any fear. The Ukrainian foreign minister is sort of echoing that sentiment, saying that we should stay away from apocalyptic predictions. What is the feeling there right now?
Well, Alajan, look, when we were speaking a couple of weeks ago and reporting on the current tensions at the border, it was a very different situation. Then you had these de-escalation efforts that still continue today. But in the meantime, the situation on Ukraine's borders has changed quite drastically. Russia hasn't de-escalated. It's ignored the West's request for it to stop that escalation. And so you've had that military build-up continuing, and the warnings are pretty dire. I can tell you, Alajan, from the front lines, when we're speaking to the soldiers there who've been holding those front lines and fighting against Russian-backed separatists for nearly 8 years now, it's a very organised Ukrainian military. They're very well prepared. Their resolve is extremely high. But when you're talking about the current fight that they've been in with Russian-backed separatists, where they've been holding those contact lines and defending Ukraine's territorial integrity, and then you compare it to the possibility of a full-scale invasion, what we've witnessed is concerning, because that level of military build-up from Russia that the US has said, that 70% capability to launch a full-scale invasion with little notice, well, then it doesn't seem from what we've witnessed like that would potentially be much of a fight. Remember, Ukraine is not a NATO member, and so although they've been shored up with this support and military aid from the likes of the US and the UK and Turkey, it is very difficult to know. And listen, the politicians' war of words right now, no one on the front lines is making any predictions, but they know well what Russia is capable of. And I very quickly stopped making the mistake of asking them, do you think Russia will launch a full-scale invasion? Because the soldiers will tell you very bluntly and firmly, Russia has already done it. Russia has already invaded Ukraine. It has occupied Crimea, it's occupied parts of Donetsk and Lugansk, and so they know what Russia is capable of. And so these dire warnings are extremely concerning. But you've got these diplomatic efforts continuing. You've got the Ukrainian foreign minister meeting with the German foreign minister today. You've got the French president in Russia meeting with Putin, and he'll be here in Ukraine tomorrow. So the diplomatic push to de-escalate is continuing. But meanwhile, that military build-up is continuing. One soldier said to me on the front line the other day, look, much of the fighting right now, it's not happening here on these front lines. It's happening in the high offices. It's happening with the diplomats.
All right, Sara Firth, we'll leave it there for the moment. Live for us from Ukraine. Thank you very much.